Dad, why did they make a video game for a movie that came out 30 years ago?
Well, son, it turns out in order to understand that question, we have to go back a lot longer and discuss something called shovelware.
But Dad, that sounds...
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Jacob from the Cedar Rapids Public Library. I often work with teens, and I thought that because, you know, we can't be open to you, that I would try to provide something for you guys in the meantime. I don't generally deal in stuff for, you know, toddlers and babies. I mean, unless they're really cool babies, but even then, probably better to err on the side of caution. But I kind of thought we could go over some grim fairy tales, and because we all know the fun ones, you know, Rapunzel, and I'm sure there's others. I really wanted to explore some of the lesser known grim fairy tales, because I mean, if those, well, the one that I remember, if one of those can be so beloved, there's got to be other just wonderful tales in here, and I really want to just kind of explore that with you. Oh, this one looks cute. The Mouse, the Bird, and the Sausage. Let's try to find another one. Oh, here's one. The Goose Girl. Nope. The Juniper Tree. Yeah, okay, all right. Papa, no! Oh, here, yes, all right. Clever Hans. Clever? That's good. Yeah, all right. Hans, why? Why would you do that? Let's go one more time. Yes. All right. The Girl Without Hands. Okay, well, let's go ahead and try something else. First thought, worst thought, right? Okay. Okay. So I tried to find something else. Hopefully this will work. It's The Adventures of Buster Bear. I've never heard of it before, or even know what it's about, but it's got a bear with a bucket on its head, so hopefully no girls without hands. Okay. Buster Bear Goes Fishing. Oh, good start, good start. Buster Bear yawned as he lay on his comfortable bed of leaves and watched as the first early morning sunbeams creeping through the green forest chase out the black shadows. Now, the black shadows is capitalized, and I'm wondering, is that like some sort of vagabond, like nomadic bunch of, like, you know, sun-phobic, like, you know, shamans? Because that would be really cool. I would desperately read this book. I'm excited to read more. Once more he yawned and slowly got to his feet and shook himself. Then he walked over to a big pine tree, stood up on his hind legs, reached as high on the trunk of the tree as he could, and scratched the bark with his great claws. I fear I may have overthought the black shadows thing. After that, he yawned until it seemed as if his jaws would crack, and then sat back down to think about what he wanted for breakfast. I mean, we've all been there, right? Whew. While he sat there, trying to make up his mind what would taste best, he was listening to the sounds that told of the waking of all the little people who live in the green forest. He heard Sammy Jay walk up, way off in the distance, screaming, "Thief! Thief!" and grinned. I wonder, thought Buster, if someone else has stolen Sammy's breakfast, or if he has stolen the breakfast of someone else. Wait, so his thought is, oh, he's screaming, "Thief! Thief!" So he stole his own breakfast and is mad about it? All right. Go ahead, Buster, that's fine. He heard Cheddar the Red Squirrel scolding as fast as he could make his tongue go, and working himself into a terrible rage. Must be the Chatterer got out of bed on the wrong way this morning, thought he. So he's got two people who are absolutely enraged first thing in the morning, and his first thought is, oh, they're sad. All right. He heard Blackie the Crow cawing at the top of his lungs, and he knew by the sound that Blackie was getting into mischief of some kind. No reason to investigate that, I guess. He heard the sweet voices of happy little singers, and they were good to hear. So forget everything else, I'm into this now. Cool. But most of all, he listened to a merry, low, silvery laugh that never stopped but went on and on until he just felt as if he must laugh too. That's a little unnerving. Something's laughing maniacally in the woods. I've never been more at peace. And as Buster listened to it, suddenly came to him just what he wanted for breakfast. "I'm going fishing," said he in his deep, grumbly, rumbly voice to no one in particular. "Yes, sir, I'm going fishing. I want some fat trout for breakfast." mean, you're a bear. That kind of makes sense. It'd be weird if he was like, I want ramen. I need to figure out heat first, though. Huh. He shuffled along to the Laughing Brook and straight to a little pool of which he knew. And as he drew near, he took the greatest care not to make the teeniest, weeniest bit of noise. Now, it just happened that earlier as he was, someone was there before Buster Bear. When he came inside of the little pool, who should be there but another fisherman, who had already caught a fine, fat trout. Who was it? Why, Little Joe Otter, to be sure. He was just climbing up the bank with the fat trout in his mouth. Oh, Buster, no. Buster Bear's own mouth watered as he saw it. Little Joe sat down on the bank and prepared to enjoy his breakfast. He hadn't seen Buster Bear, and he didn't know that he or anyone else was anywhere near. Buster Bear tiptoed up very softly until he was right behind Little Joe Otter. Woof, woof, said he in the deepest, most grumbly, rumbly voice. That's a very fine-looking trout. I wouldn't mind if I had it myself. Then get your own, dude. You're a gigantic bear. This isn't hard. You're a bear. Little Joe Otter gave a frightened squeal and, without even turning to see who was speaking, dropped his fish and dived headfirst into the Laughing Brook. Buster Bear sprang forward and, with one of his big paws, caught the fat trout just as it was slipping back into the water. Here's your trout, Mr. Otter, said he as Little Joe put his head out of the water to see who had frightened him so. Come and get it. But Little Joe wouldn't. Nor would I. Nor would anyone. He snarled at Buster Bear and called him thief and everything else he could think of. Buster didn't seem to mind. He chuckled as if he thought it was all a great joke and repeated his invitation to Little Joe to come and get his fish. But Little Joe just turned his back and went off to the Laughing Brook in a great rage. It's too bad to waste such a fine fish, said Buster thoughtfully. I wonder what I'd better do with it. And while he was wondering, he ate it all up. Then he started down the Laughing Brook to try to catch some for himself. So, that's the first adventure of Buster Bear, I guess. Steal from your friends and don't have friends. Or I guess maybe he does, but we'll find out next time, I guess. Thanks for listening.